Okay, you guys, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today to One Piece episode 600 review. That is 6, and we got 2 O's. We got the double. Yeah! Okay, now, that being said, enough of that homo shit. Look down in the description below for the link to the episode of One Piece on One Piece Official, where you can view for yourself legally. That's number 1. And number 2 is go check out, and you'll see in the description down below, go check out a site called One Piece Secret Cabinet. Now, this site is created by a friend of mine. He's known on YouTube as Everything One Piece. He is also a One Piece reviewer, and his channel is mostly One Piece related. Now, he has a website, and basically this website, he does One Piece news related information, he does One Piece game related information, One Piece manga information, forum, and he has a new section on his website. It's called the Reviewer's Corner, where myself, him, King Ace, Ramaku Joten, and Bankai 922, who basically have this section of this website dedicated to strictly One Piece manga and episode reviews. So go check it out in the description down below, and there is a plugin for my boy Ruby. So getting on to the episode itself, right? This week's episode of One Piece. One more time. One Piece! Oh! Yeah! My boy Whitebeard coming in there. This week's episode of One Piece. Okay. The beginning, I'm not gonna lie to you, right? Like, slow. So... Yo, it's like, there was one scene, like, legit, where, like, Cesar Clown, he's walking, like, and all you hear is the steps, like, I'm like, come on, like, hurry the fuck up. Like, I felt that, like, all the kid stuff, like prior to everything, prior to when Cesar Clown starts to attack Brownbeard, everything is slow as fuck. I'll be honest. Like, there's a little scene at the beginning where we see Luffy talking to Trafalgar Law and basically Smoker and Tashigi. And then Luffy finally remembers who Flamingo is. And to me, like, I understand why he forgot, because he was in the middle of this war and there were other powerful dudes there and he had to go save his brother. That's number 1. Number 2, Luffy isn't exactly the brightest guy in the world. And number 3, well, actually, no. Those are 2 reasons as to why I can understand why he forgot that Flamingo even existed or who Flamingo was. But I mean, this is the guy who literally cut clean cut Crocodile's head off with a finger twitch. Like, yeah. And so I'm thinking to myself, bro, how do you forget that? So, like that to me was, it makes sense, but still, it's like, what the fuck. And then at the end of that, that miniature flashback of Flamingo cutting Crocodile's head off, basically it's revealed to Luffy that apparently Flamingo attacked Moria, and Luffy knows well who Moria is. He knows very well. So, and that's the last time we see them actually talk. Then there's another miniature scene at the end of the episode. Well, no, let me get to it later. After that scene is all the kid stuff where we see Nami. And Nami inside Sanji's body, which, by the way, if you're wondering, yeah, it did kind of irk me. How? Because I'm a huge Sanji fanboy, and it kind of irked me when I'm seeing Nami get wastelanded inside Sanji's body. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, literally, he's getting choked out. He's getting gas netted. I'm like, fuck. Like, at some points, I almost cringed. I was like, oh, fuck. So. But, you know, it is what it is. But basically what's happening is that we see Cesar Clown, he goes in there, and it's basically like a very slow 7 to 8 minutes where we have Cesar Clown, like, fucking around with the kids, saying how kids come over here, I got the candy, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, like, well, they see Cesar Clown, they run towards him. we're trying to see Nami and Usopp trying to stop them. Some of the kids are going crazy. One kid starts hallucinating, and so on and so forth. And then Cesar Clown's taunting Nami and Usopp about how, well, you say that they want to go home, but I don't see that. And like the kids are running towards him, like, yeah, give us candy, 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 candy. So obviously they're extremely addicted to the substance. That's obvious. And then so Usopp and Nami, they turn their attention on Cesar Clown. And so this is actually very important to note. Cesar Clown's there for the building. And this explains how he knocked out Luffy and the others so easily. Because they didn't understand the aspects of the gas no me. Sounds kind of weird. Like you're farting 3 times over. 2 times over. Basically, it's, first of all, Usopp attacks him with his Firebird Star. And it looks the same as like pre-time skip. It really does. I think in the manga it was bigger. But yeah, I think in the manga it was like significantly bigger. But in the anime it looked the same as the pre-time skip Firebird Star. But whatever. And then what winds up happening is that as it's going towards him, it goes right through Cesar Clown, and all of a sudden it like turns into like a little duck thing and then disappears. And then Cesar Clown explains. He explains how gas does not mean like him being a gas user. Usopp thought that he could ignite him and blow him up, but there's more to it than that. He explains how the air around him is gas. The oxygen, he can literally remove the oxygen from the atmosphere in a set location. The fuck? That sounds OP shit. Now, of course, it appears to be a very limited area because the next thing we see of him, he blitzes, and that kind of surprised me because Luffy blitzed the shit out of Cesar Clown, like it was a joke. But Cesar Clown blitzed the fuck out of Usopp and Nami, and then he came behind them, was like, yeah, and then basically like they couldn't breathe. Usopp couldn't breathe. Nami tried to attack Cesar Clown, couldn't do shit, and then fucking, and then the same thing, and then they're both choking because they have no oxygen. And what's happening here is that the kids, so as they're suffocating, the kids wind up coming over to Cesar Clown, like, we need the candy, please, please, please. Cesar Clown says, okay, well, I'll give you the candy, just kill these 2. And then before that happens, here comes Brownbeard. So getting back to his deal for the building. Alright, actually, no, let me continue on with the Brownbeard stuff. Brownbeard comes in there with a big ass, like, metal tube thing, starts swinging at Cesar Clown. Cesar Clown, Logia. He ain't touching gas, obviously. But what's happening is that because he's swinging at Cesar Clown can't maintain the strangulation. He can't maintain his oxygen-free zone. And thus, Usopp and Nami are now, like, they're able to breathe again. And in all this chaos, he makes the kids run away because the kids are in quote-unquote danger. And they are because of Brownbeard. Because Brownbeard's not exactly being, what's the word here? He's not exactly being, well, he's not aware. He's not focused on the kids right now. Right now, he wants to kill Cesar Clown. And so the kids go to the air balloon that's outside the laboratory. The destroy laboratory, where they're camping out before. And basically, it's like Brownbeard has a speech about all this whatever, not important. Basically, he wants his crew back. Cesar Clown turns around, pulls out like a dork face, like, huh? Like, what the fuck? Like, get the fuck out of here. No, fuck you. Brownbeard goes for the attack, gas net, explosion, and the way they animated that one part was actually pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was like slow motion, click. It's like freeze frame, gas net, boom. So that was nice animation. See, so, like, that ticks me off, man. It's like, they can do good animation, but on average, when I say on average, I mean like 90% of the time, they don't do good animation. I'm like, fuck. Well, at least in my opinion, when I says good animation, in my personal opinion, what defines good animation? Like, I'm not expecting like Ghost in the Shell shit. I'm just saying, like, you guys can do a lot better, and I know you can. But moving on. And then basically Nami and Usopp, as they run towards the kids in all this distraction, trying to stop them from going inside the blimp, they get caught up by Cesar Clown, gas net over. So, getting back to what I was saying about his abilities. The key thing here about his abilities, right, is that, number one, he can literally click the air and ignite the air at like any given location at least in his visual, at least we can assume any point that he can, like in a certain radius, he can ignite the air and like create these big ass explosions. Number 2, he can forcibly remove the oxygen from the atmosphere in a particular zone and suffocate things that require oxygen to live, which is a lot of fucking things. So the thing about Cesar Clown that you must keep in mind here is that Cesar Clown, he's a scientist, so he's not really that keen on his Delph ability. I mean, he is, but not to like a huge degree, like Kizaru, Aokiji, Akainu, Smoker, who I think is a lot more keen than Cesar Clown is. So the thing that the thing that we must keep in mind here is that Cesar Clown has a potentially very hacked power. Fire can literally not hit this guy in a particular area because fire requires oxygen. And if you remove that oxygen, well, fire can't do shit to you, literally. So he could fuck with Ace all day long if he fought against Ace. He really could. He could fuck with the dude. But I mean, assuming that Ace wasn't really hockey keen, I mean, he kind of was, but not really that. But the thing about it is that Cesar Clown, because he's not that combative versed, because he's not so, because he's not well combat versed, his powers with his Devil Fruit are lacking. So, I mean, imagine if that zone of oxygen removal was much greater. Like, at least encompass like an entire fucking mount. He'd be devastated. Anything within his zone would suffocate and die. Like, literally, just, yeah. Like, he's not like crocodiles. I mean, oh, Jesus Christ. Crocodile is such a good example of how to hone your Devil Fruit ability. Like, he did the craziest shit with sand. It was like, bro, the sand tornadoes, the creating blades, actual iron blades out of sand, being able to remove the moisture in an object like fucking sand, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, Crocodile could do mad shit. Cesar Clown, he ain't there yet. And that was pre-time skip Crocodile. Post-time skip Crocodile, holy shit. I mean, literally, holy shit. He must just touch the fucking ground, and everything in an area just withered away and dead. So I can't wait to see that shit. Okay, so I'm going on a fucking miniature tangent. So the first part of the episode, honest to God, there were a few good moments here and there, but overall, I think it was subpar. A little too slow, just a little too slow. I was like, oh my god, like fucking walk. I'm like, bro, seriously. That's number 1. Number two, part 2. Basically, we see a little scene of Chopper going stealth mode. It's mode, but the Japanese say like modo. It's weird. I have no idea why. But fuck it, whatever. He goes stealth mode, and he's trying to save Luffy and his friends, but not working out too well. And basically, it's kind of like he beats basically Cesar Clown. He's gonna go back to the because Brownbeard, Nami, and Usopp, they're down. Smiley has now completely moved over from the burning side to the cold side, and now they're meeting in one location so they can fully merge. And according to Ichiro Oda, I think it was the 15th anniversary. It was like a One Piece like manga thing where that Ichiro Oda himself made. It was called like the Dive of the Grand Line. According to Ichiro Oda himself, Smiley is like 150 meters tall. That's fucking big. To give you, that's around a 45-story building. So Smiley's fucking huge. Okay, I'm just saying, it's fucking huge. Not as big as the Kraken or Wadasume, but it's still pretty damn big. And from then on, it's like, okay, so there's like another scene where, okay, so the last important scene, we have Monet talking to Cesar Clown, and Monet says that everything's set up. The candy, or the food that Smiley has, no, the food, Smiley's, because Cesar Clown, he asks Monet, is Smiley's food ready? And she's like, yeah, everything's A-okay, or everything's ready to go. The Marines are outside, the Strides are captured here, some of them are, and so he wants to connect himself, he wants to connect to all the Denden Mushi. Apparently there's video transponder Denden Mushi in the area. And then, what ends up happening is that he's talking to these video transponder Denden Mushi that are in these bubbles. For some reason, we don't know why. It's weird. It's like, why are they in bubbles? So keep that in mind. And basically, all of a sudden, you see these silhouettes of dudes. The first silhouette we see of, like the first silhouette figure that we see, we don't know who the hell he is. The second set, we know who they are. It's Baron Tamago and fucking Peckups. Big man. These are underground brokers, and they're watching this shit. They're watching this shit go down. Cesar Clown has video transponders. He's trying to sell this product right now. He's trying to sell the product of Smiley. And we have underground brokers watching this shit. Again, the first silhouette that we see, silhouette, I can't say the word. The first silhouette that we see is a dude never seen of. The second set, Baron Tamago Peckups. The third, some dude with a fucking, he looks like Hawkins, but we're not too sure. Because he has a sword on his back, and it's like, we don't know. The last silhouette that we see actually talks. And we see Killer. So obviously we know who's coming next. Captain Eustace Kid. And Killer's asking him, so you plan on buying this thing? And he's like, no. But it doesn't hurt to know about it. It's like, right there. Captain Kid right there. So the ending overall was pretty nice. Because it was, the ending was pretty nice. Because it was basically a person that we know of, big name guy. Eustace Kid. And he appears to be, intrigued about this product, Smiley. And he's now going to see what's going to occur on Punk Hazard because, of course, there are these video transponders in bubbles. And basically, we're seeing that Big Man and Baron Tamago are also interested in this product that Smiley's delivering. So now understand this, all right? Cesar Clown works for Don Quixote do Flamengo. Okay? Cesar Clown is trying to sell a product to other pirates and other people who are not marine related. Okay? Amongst these people who are intrigued are Supernova, apparently, and people who are affiliated with one of the Yonko, Big Man. Big fucking man. So, do you understand the influence that this man has? He's influenced Cesar Clown, and by doing so, he has influence over high-ranking people in the world of One Piece. Because if you have a product that people want, and then there's struggle for that product, well then shit. The one that has the most power or money is going to win it. And all that power or money is going to go straight to who? Not Cesar Clown, Flamingo. You see that? You see that? And this guy is a Shichibukai, which means that the Marines will not actually hunt him. He is protected. He is protected. He is protected by law. No, by law, he is protected. So you see the influence this man has. He set up such a nice, secure position for himself, where it's very hard to fuck with the dude. At least when it comes from a political and merchant standpoint. It's very hard to fuck with the dude. Very hard. So, Flamingo. So, that part is a good. So, we have one subpar, one good, overall okay. So, an okay episode of One Piece. Pacing at the beginning, at the end, not bad at all. Animation, overall, okay, but it had pretty good parts here and there. And we'll leave it at that. So, King Lightning, be sure to, of course, rate, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day.